I still can't believe we're only 6 weeks away, I said as I looked across the dinner table. Olivia smiled. I know. It feels like we waited forever. I'd wait another 10 years if it meant marrying you. She laughed softly. Don't say that. I've already waited long enough. I reached across the table and held her hand. So have I. My name is Ethan Carter. I am 30 years old, and I work as an architect. For years, I believed every careful decision brought me closer to the life I wanted. I had a steady career, a home we were slowly renovating, and a woman I trusted with my whole heart. Sitting across from Olivia that evening, I honestly believed my future had finally arrived. She squeezed my fingers. Can I ask you something? Anything. You promise you won't get upset? I grinned. That sounds dangerous already. It's not. Well, maybe a little. Now I'm curious. She took a slow breath. Sophia wants me to take one last girls' trip before the wedding. I blinked. A vacation. Just for a few days. When? Next week. I leaned back. That's pretty close to the wedding. I know. You already promised your mom we'd finish tasting cakes. I can do that when I get back. What about the invitations? They're almost finished. I studied her face. Why is this so important? She looked down before meeting my eyes again. Because after we're married, everything changes. I'll never have another chance to travel like this without responsibilities. I just want one last adventure with my best friend. I smiled. You're asking permission? I'm asking for understanding. You already have it. Her shoulders relaxed instantly. Really? Really? She stood, walked around the table, and wrapped her arms around me. I love you, she whispered. I love you too. You always believe in me. That's because you've never given me a reason not to. She kissed my cheek. I was so nervous, she admitted. You worried over nothing. I guess I did. When are you leaving? Tuesday morning. Then we'll spend the weekend together. Deal. Later that night, we opened my laptop to check flights. This one is cheaper, I said, but leaves at 6. You hate waking up early. I really do. I laughed. Then this one? She smiled. It's more expensive. I'll cover it. You don't have to. I want to. Ethan, we're about to get married. What's mine is yours. She stared at me for a moment. I'm the luckiest woman alive. No, I replied. I am. She rested her head against my shoulder while I booked the tickets. You even paid for the hotel. It's our savings. You've worked so hard. So have you. She looked at the confirmation email and smiled again. I promise I'll make this worth it. You don't owe me anything. I do. Just come home safely. I will. And call me every night. She held up her little finger. I promise. I hooked mine around hers. No excuses? No excuses. No disappearing? Never. I believed every word because trusting Olivia had never felt like a choice. It felt as natural as breathing, and I never imagined that the promise seal between our fingers would become the beginning of everything I was about to lose. In the next part, Olivia leaves for the trip, begins sending photos and video calls, and the first subtle inconsistencies start appearing. Tuesday arrived faster than I expected. I drove Olivia to the airport before sunrise. She rested her hand on mine while we waited at a red light. You've been quiet, she said. I'm already missing you. She smiled. It's only 5 days. They're going to feel longer. You'll survive. I'll try. She laughed and kissed my cheek. At the departure gate, she hugged me tightly. Don't work too hard, she said. I was about to tell you the same thing about relaxing. I'll send you pictures. I expect a lot of them, and I'll call every night. I'll be waiting. She waved one last time before disappearing into the crowd. I watched until I couldn't see her anymore, then drove home, feeling strangely lonely. That evening my phone buzzed. Olivia *** made it. The weather is perfect, ***. A selfie followed. She stood beside a bright blue ocean with sunglasses resting on her head. I smiled and typed, You look beautiful. Her reply came instantly. I wish you were here. At 9 o'clock she called. Can you hear me? She asked. Loud and clear. You'd love this place. I already do because you're smiling. You always know what to say. We talked for 15 minutes before she yawned. I'm exhausted. Go get some sleep. I love you. I love you too. The next day, another picture arrived. This time she stood beside colorful market stalls, holding a coconut with both hands. Sophia keeps making me shop, she wrote. I laughed and answered, tell her I'm blaming her when your suitcase gets heavier. She sent a laughing emoji. Everything seemed normal. By the third day, though, little things began bothering me. That night's video call lasted barely 4 minutes. Why are you rushing? I asked. The signal is terrible. You've said that twice already. I know. I'm sorry. Show me Sophia. She's in the shower. Again, Olivia hesitated for a second. Bad timing, I guess. She ended the call before I could say anything else. I stared at the dark screen. You're overthinking, I muttered to myself. The following afternoon, she sent another beach photo. Something looked different. The sand seemed darker than yesterday, and the hotel behind her didn't match the one from her earlier pictures. Maybe they had traveled to another island. Maybe I was imagining things. I refused to let suspicion replace trust. That night her message arrived much later than usual. Asterisk sorry. Busy day. Asterisk. No problem, I replied. She added a heart emoji. I smiled, but something inside me refused to settle. On the 5th evening, she texted again. Last sunset before coming home. The picture was beautiful. Golden light covered the ocean while Olivia smiled toward the camera. I almost put my phone away. Instead, I zoomed in because I wanted to see her face more clearly. My fingers froze. Behind her, a glass window reflected part of the boardwalk. At first, I noticed only shadows. Then I saw them. A man's arm, his hand wrapped around hers. His body stood close enough that their shoulders almost touched. The person taking the picture wasn't beside her. Someone else was. My heartbeat pounded against my chest. No, I whispered. I zoomed in again. The reflection stayed exactly the same. The photo she had sent to prove she missed me had revealed something she never meant me to see. For the first time since we became engaged, I wondered if the woman I trusted most had just lied to me. I barely slept after finding the reflection. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that unknown hand holding Olivia's. By morning, I had almost convinced myself I was overreacting. You're tired, I whispered to my reflection. That's all. I opened the sunset picture again. No, maybe I'm wrong. I zoomed in. The hand was still there. I tossed my phone onto the couch and walked around the living room. I trust her. The words sounded weak. I picked up the phone again and opened every picture Olivia had sent during the trip. The first selfie looked harmless. The second one showed the beach. The third showed the market. The fourth showed her hotel balcony. I stared at each image longer than before. Come on, Ethan, I muttered. Either you're losing your mind or something is seriously wrong. I enlarged the market photo. A shiny watch appeared in the reflection of a shop window. That wasn't there before. I opened another picture. The same silver watch appeared again. My stomach tightened. It can't be the same person. I compared both images side by side. It is. The watch had the same dark face and the same scratched metal band. I kept searching. Another detail caught my attention. In one hotel picture, 2 suitcases stood near the bed. One was Olivia's blue suitcase. The other was a large black suitcase I had never seen before. I frowned. Sophia's? Maybe. Then I remembered something. Sophia always traveled with a bright red suitcase because she joked it was impossible to lose at an airport. I opened old photos from previous vacations. There it was. The same bright red suitcase. Not black. I leaned back slowly. So whose suitcase is that? My breathing became uneven. I switched to another photo. The room decorations looked different. The pillows had changed. The paintings on the wall were completely different. The bedside lamp wasn't even the same style. Weren't you staying in one hotel? I whispered the question, even though nobody could answer. My phone buzzed. Olivia was calling. I forced myself to smile before answering. Hey, hi, handsome. Having fun. So much fun. What did you do today? Oh, just relax with Sophia. Still together? Of course. Tell her I said hello. I will. Can I see her? A brief silence followed. She's downstairs getting coffee. Again, she laughed. You really want proof she's here? I miss both of you. You'll see her when I get home. I guess. I have to go. So soon. The signal is acting up. It sounded fine. It changes quickly. Okay. I love you. I love you too. The screen went dark. I stared at my own reflection. She's lying. I hated saying those words. I loved Olivia with everything I had. Accusing her felt like betraying my own heart. Still, every answer she gave created another question. Every picture hid another strange detail. Every excuse sounded more rehearsed than the last. I needed someone who could quietly erase all my doubts. Only one person could do that. Sophia. If she confirmed everything Olivia had said, I would apologize to myself for ever questioning the woman I wanted to marry. If she couldn't, I wasn't ready to finish that thought. My thumb hovered over Sophia's contact. I took one slow breath. Then I pressed the call button. The phone rang 3 times before Sophia answered. Hey, Ethan. Hi, Sophia. Everything okay? Yeah. I just wanted your help. My help. I thought I'd surprise Olivia when she gets back. That sounds sweet. I was thinking about sending flowers to your hotel. There was a pause. What hotel? The one you're staying at. Another silence followed. Ethan, what are you talking about? You and Olivia are on your trip. I never went anywhere. My heart stopped. What? I couldn't leave. Why not? My mom got sick 2 days before the flight. You're serious? Of course I'm serious. Olivia said you've been together all week. I haven't seen Olivia in days. I struggled to breathe. How's your mom? She's resting now. The doctor wanted her to stay home. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Don't worry about that. Why did Olivia tell you I was with her? I don't know. Is everything all right? I need to go. Ethan, take care of your mom. The call ended. I sat frozen on the couch. Everything inside me collapsed at once. Every smile, every promise, every picture, every word, all of it suddenly looked fake. I opened my laptop with shaking hands. There has to be an explanation. I searched Olivia's social media first. Nothing. Then I searched travel tags from the beach she claimed to visit. Hundreds of public photos appeared. I kept scrolling. Minutes passed. Then my eyes locked onto one picture. A tourist had posted a group photo near the same boardwalk. Olivia stood in the background. She wasn't alone. Ryan Hayes stood beside her. I whispered his name. No. Ryan had been my closest friend since college. He had helped me move into my first apartment. He had toasted our engagement. He had called Olivia the perfect match for me. I clicked another photo. Ryan again. Another. Ryan smiling beside Olivia. Neither of them looked like people hiding a secret. They looked comfortable, happy. My hand started shaking so badly, I almost dropped the laptop. This can't be happening. I searched Ryan's account. His page showed nothing unusual. Then I checked the photos where other people had tagged him. There they were. Different angles. Different days. The same vacation. The same clothes. The same places Olivia had claimed were girls' only memories. I closed my eyes. My chest hurt so much I could barely breathe. The betrayal came from 2 people I trusted more than almost anyone else. I wanted to call them. I wanted to scream. I wanted answers. Instead, I forced myself to stay still. If I confront them now, they'll deny everything. I looked at the screen again. They don't know what I know. That thought changed everything. I wiped my face and picked up my phone. Olivia sent another message. Miss you already. I stared at it for several seconds before replying. Asterisk, I miss you too. I can't wait until you're home. Asterisk. A heart appeared beside her reply. Love you. My fingers hesitated. Then I typed the word she expected. Love you too. I hated every letter, but they could not know the truth. Not yet. If Olivia and Ryan could lie to my face without guilt, then I could smile while quietly collecting every piece of evidence they never expected me to find. From that moment, I stopped being a man waiting for explanations. I became a man waiting for the perfect moment to uncover the truth, and I silently promised myself that when it finally arrived, neither of them would have anywhere left to hide. I reached the airport 20 minutes early. My hands stayed in my pockets because I was afraid they would shake if I looked at them. Then I saw Olivia walking toward me with a bright smile. There you are, she called. I forced myself to smile. Welcome home. She ran into my arms and hugged me tightly. I missed you so much. I missed you too. The words left my mouth, but they no longer came from my heart. She stepped back and lifted 2 shopping bags. I brought you gifts. You didn't have to. I wanted to. What did you get? She handed me a small box. Open it. Inside was a leather wallet. You always said yours was getting old. It's nice. I knew you'd like it. Thank you. She smiled with complete confidence. During the drive home, she talked without stopping. You should have seen the beach. I saw the pictures. It was even prettier in person. I bet. Sophia almost dropped her phone into the water. Really? Olivia laughed. She screamed so loudly that everyone turned around. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel. The story was impossible. Sophia had never gone anywhere. Still, I nodded. That sounds like her. It was hilarious. I'm glad you had fun. I wish you had been there. So do I. Every sentence felt like another knife sliding deeper into my chest. When we arrived home, she unpacked souvenirs across the kitchen table. I bought this magnet for your office. It's perfect. And these chocolates. My favorite. I remembered. You always do. She smiled proudly. I hated how easy lying seemed for her now. That evening she rested beside me on the couch. I missed falling asleep next to you. I know. She looked into my eyes. What's wrong? Nothing. You seem quieter. I've just been busy. You aren't upset that I left? No. She kissed my forehead. I love you. I closed my eyes for one painful second. I love you too. The lie burned inside me because I still loved her, yet I no longer trusted her. The next afternoon my phone rang. Ryan. I stared at his name before answering. Hey brother, he shouted. Hey, I've got steaks. Steaks. We're grilling tonight. I wasn't planning anything. Perfect. I'll be there in 30. Before I could refuse, he hung up. Exactly 30 minutes later, he walked through my front door, carrying a cooler. There he is. He hugged me. I forced myself not to push him away. Olivia smiled. Ryan, welcome back, vacation queen. She laughed. Thanks. He looked at me. You survived without her? Barely. I told you she'd come back. They laughed together. I watched them carefully. Nothing looked suspicious. Nothing looked awkward. If I didn't know the truth, I would have believed they were simply close friends. Ryan flipped burgers on the grill. So, Olivia, he asked casually, what was your favorite part? She answered without hesitation. The sunsets. I've heard they're amazing. They really are. I looked at Ryan. He never once acted surprised. He never asked ordinary questions. He already knew every answer because he had been standing beside her the entire time. I smiled with them while my heart quietly broke into pieces. As soon as dinner ended, I made one silent promise to myself. Their performance might fool everyone else. It would never fool me again. After Ryan left, I waited until Olivia went to sleep. I sat alone at my desk with the old shared tablet we used for planning our wedding. My hands moved slowly. I wasn't looking for revenge anymore. I was looking for the truth. Show me what you hid, I whispered. I opened the messaging app. Most conversations were normal. Then I remembered Olivia once deleted messages because the storage was full. I checked the backup folder. A password request appeared. I knew the password. It was our anniversary date. The screen opened. My heart started beating faster. There were messages, hundreds of them, between Olivia and Ryan. I read the first one. Ryan, I can't believe we are actually doing this. My stomach tightened. Another message appeared. Olivia, Ethan trusts me completely. I closed my eyes. That sentence hurt more than anything else. I kept scrolling. Ryan, what if he finds out? Asterisk Olivia. He won't. He never doubts me. Asterisk. I leaned back. The woman I planned to marry knew exactly how much I trusted her. She used it against me. I saved every message, every picture, every detail. The next morning, I checked the hotel receipts connected to our shared email. There it was. A booking under Ryan's name. Same location. Same dates. Same hotel Olivia claimed she visited with Sophia. I saved the receipt too. My phone suddenly rang. Hey, Ethan. It was my sister, Grace. Hi, Grace. You sound strange. I'm fine. No, you're not. I stayed silent. She sighed. I know you. Something happened. I looked around the room. For days, I had carried everything alone. Maybe I didn't need to anymore. Can you come over? Are you okay? I need to tell you something. 30 minutes later, Grace sat across from me. Ethan, what happened? I placed my phone on the table. Look at this. She read the messages. Her expression changed slowly. Oh my God. I looked away. Don't say it. I'm sorry. I don't need sympathy. I know. I just don't understand how someone can do this. Grace reached for my hand. Because some people make selfish choices. It's hosted here. I know. I trusted him too. Ryan. I nodded. She looked through the evidence again. Did you confront them? No. Why? Because they still think they won. Grace studied me carefully. What are you planning? I don't know. Are you thinking about hurting them? The question surprised me. No. Good. I wanted to. I know. But that won't fix anything. Grace nodded. Exactly. I looked at all the evidence on the table. I want them exposed. Then do it the right way. What does that mean? It means don't let anger control you. Let the truth speak. Her words stayed with me. For the first time since discovering Olivia's betrayal, I stopped imagining revenge. I stopped imagining destruction. I started thinking about justice. A plan. A way to reveal everything without becoming someone I didn't recognize. Grace. Yeah. Thank you. For what? For reminding me who I am. She smiled softly. You're my brother. I won't let pain turn you into someone else. I looked at the evidence again. Olivia and Ryan had built their secret on lies. Now I would build my answer on the truth. And when the right moment came, they would finally understand that the person they underestimated was the one person who knew exactly what they had done. I woke up on my wedding day with a strange calmness inside me. For years, I imagined this morning would be filled with excitement, but all I felt was certainty. I looked at the ring on my table. Today ends everything, I whispered. My phone buzzed. It was Olivia. Good morning, future husband. I stared at the message for a moment before replying. Good morning. Are you nervous? A little. Me too. But I can't wait to see you. I closed my eyes. I can't wait either. The words felt empty. At the venue, everything looked perfect. Flowers covered the entrance, music filled the room, and guests smiled as they waited for the ceremony. Emma Wilson, our wedding planner, walked toward me. Ethan, everything is ready. Thank you, Emma. Are you okay? You seem quieter than usual. I'm just thinking. Good thoughts. I looked around the room. Important thoughts. She smiled. Well, today is a big day. Yes, it is. Pastor Michael Ross approached me with a gentle expression. Ethan, are you ready? Yes. Marriage is a promise built on honesty and love. I looked at the stage. I know. You seem serious. I am. A few minutes later, the doors opened. Olivia entered wearing her wedding dress. Everyone stood and smiled. She looked beautiful. For a moment, I remembered the woman I fell in love with. The late-night conversations, the promises, the dreams. Then I remember the messages, the photos, the lies. Olivia reached me and smiled. You look amazing. Thank you. She touched my hand. Are you okay? I'm fine. I can't believe this day is finally here. Neither can I. The ceremony began. Pastor Michael spoke while everyone listened. Today, two people choose each other. I looked at Olivia. She smiled confidently. I wonder how someone could stand in front of everyone after breaking something so important. The vows started. Olivia held my hands. Ethan, you're my best friend and the person I want beside me forever. I listened quietly. I promise to love you, support you, and never let you feel alone. My chest tightened. Never let me feel alone. Those words hurt. Pastor Michael looked at me. Ethan, your vows? I took a breath. Before I say anything, I need everyone to see something. Confusion spread across the room. Olivia looked at me. What are you doing? Just wait. Emma stepped forward. Ethan, is everything okay? Yes, Emma. I turned toward the large screen behind us. Please turn it on. The room became silent. Olivia's smile disappeared. Ethan, what is this? I looked at her. The truth. The screen lit up. The first image appeared. A photo of Olivia and Ryan appeared. A few guests whispered. Olivia's face changed. Where did you get that? I didn't answer. Another image appeared. Then another. Messages. Receipts. Hotel records. Every secret they tried to hide slowly appeared in front of everyone. I heard someone say my name. Ethan. I kept looking at the screen. Olivia stepped closer. Please turn it off. I finally looked at her. Why? Because this isn't what it looks like. I shook my head. Then tell everyone what it is. She opened her mouth, but no words came. For the first time that day, I saw fear replace confidence in her eyes. I stood there quietly while the room waited for answers. My heart was broken, but my mind was clear. I had spent weeks carrying this pain alone, and now the truth finally belonged to everyone who needed to hear it. I watched Olivia stare at the screen as another message appeared. Ryan's words were visible for everyone to see. "I can't believe you came." The room became completely silent. Olivia shook her head. "Ethan, please listen to me." I looked at her. "I've been listening for weeks." "That's not fair." "Fair." My voice stayed calm. "Was it fair when you told me you were traveling with Sophia?" She looked away. "I made a mistake." "No." I stepped closer. "You made choices." Tears filled her eyes. "I still love you." I felt pain hearing those words. Love doesn't mean anything without honesty. The doors suddenly opened behind us. Ryan rushed inside. "Ethan, stop this." Everyone turned toward him. He looked at the screen and froze. "Ryan," I said quietly, "let me explain." "You already explained everything." "I can fix this." "You cannot fix something you destroyed." Ryan lowered his voice. "Please, not here." I laughed softly. "Not here." I looked around the room. "This is exactly where it should happen." Ryan looked nervous. "I never wanted to hurt you." I stared at him. "But you did." Olivia stepped between us. "Ethan, please." We were confused. Confused. She nodded. "It was complicated." I looked at the guests. "Do you hear that?" Nobody answered. Every lie becomes a different excuse when the truth appears. Olivia cried. "I was scared." "Of what?" "Of losing you." I looked at her sadly. "You were afraid of losing me while you were choosing someone else." She covered her face. "I regret it." "I believe you regret being caught." The words hurt me too, but they were true. Pastor Michael stood quietly nearby. "Ethan, are you certain about this decision?" I looked at him. "I've never been more certain." Emma approached slowly. "Ethan, should I stop the ceremony?" I looked at the flowers, the decorations, and the place where I thought I would begin my happiest memory. "No." I removed my wedding ring. This ceremony already ended before today. Olivia looked at the ring. "Please don't do this." I placed the ring in her hand. "I wanted to give you my future." My voice shook slightly. "But you gave me a reason to walk away." She held my hand. "Can you ever forgive me?" I looked at her. "Maybe one day." Her eyes filled with hope. "But forgiveness does not mean I can forget." I slowly stepped back. Trust dies long before love does. The room stayed silent. I turned toward the exit. "Ethan," Olivia called. I stopped but did not turn around. "I really did love you." I closed my eyes. "I loved you too." "Then why leave?" "Because loving someone who broke you does not mean you have to keep letting them hurt you." I walked forward. Every step felt painful. Every step also felt freeing. I left behind the wedding I planned for years. I left behind the future I imagined. But I carried something more important. The truth. And for the first time in weeks, I finally felt like I could breathe again. Outside the venue, I stood alone for a moment. My hands were shaking, but I no longer felt lost. My phone kept ringing, but I ignored it. I needed silence. I needed time. I looked back at the building where my dream had ended. It hurt. It would hurt for a long time. But I knew something important. I had not lost my future. I had finally saved myself from a life built on lies. I chose peace over anger, and I walked forward knowing heart would heal someday again. After the wedding day, I learned that silence could hurt less than answers. I spent the first few weeks waking up and remembering that the future I planned no longer existed. My sister Grace visited almost every evening. "Ethan, you need to eat." "I'm not hungry." "That is not an answer. I'm just tired." "I know you are." I looked away. I keep asking myself how I missed everything. Grace sat beside me. "You didn't miss it because you were foolish. You trusted someone you loved." "But I feel stupid." "You were hurt, not stupid." Those words stayed with me. I started therapy because I realized carrying anger every day was destroying me more than Olivia's betrayal. My therapist asked me a simple question. "What do you want most right now?" I thought for a long moment. "I want to stop feeling like they took something from me." "And what do you think they took?" "My peace." "Can you take it back?" I looked down. "Yes." "How?" "By rebuilding my life." That became my goal. I returned to work and started focusing on my designs again. My office slowly became a place where I remembered who I was before everything fell apart. One afternoon, Grace called me. "You sound different." "Different how?" "Like yourself again." I smiled. "I think I am." I'm proud of you. I didn't think I would get here. I did. During that time, I heard updates about Olivia and Ryan. At first, they appeared happy. They posted pictures together. They attended events together. They acted like they had won. I saw one photo online and felt nothing. That surprised me. Months earlier, that image would have destroyed me. Now, it only reminded me how far I had come. Then things started changing. Grace called me one night. "Ethan, did you hear?" "Hear what?" "Ryan and Olivia are having problems." I stayed quiet. "Are you okay?" "Yes." "Really? Really? What do you feel?" I thought about it. "Nothing." Grace laughed softly. "That's a good sign. I expected anger. But I don't want their pain anymore. I just want my own peace." A few days later, Olivia sent me a message. "Ethan, can we talk?" I looked at the screen. I didn't reply. Another message came. "Please, I need you to hear me." I closed the conversation. Then another appeared. "I know I hurt you." I still said nothing. I remembered the person I was before the wedding. A man who begged for honesty. A man who waited for explanations. That man was gone. Not because Olivia destroyed him. Because he finally chose himself. I put my phone down and returned to my work. For the first time, ignoring her did not feel like revenge. It felt like freedom. I realized that healing was not about forgetting what happened. It was about accepting that I could survive without the people who broke me. I started making plans for my future again and stopped looking back at the past every morning. Grace noticed the change and smiled when she saw my confidence returning. "You're finally moving forward," she said. I answered, "I am not pretending it never happened. I am just refusing to let it control me anymore." She nodded and replied, "That's the strongest thing you could do." For the first time, I believed her. A few weeks later, I heard more about Olivia and Ryan. I never searched for updates, but people talked. One evening, Grace called me. "Ethan, I need to ask something." "What happened? Are you sure you don't want to know about Olivia?" I smiled. "Why would I?" "Because you used to care." "I did. And now?" "Now I care about myself." Grace became quiet. "I'm happy to hear you say that." I learned that Olivia and Ryan had started fighting constantly. The trust they destroyed with me had disappeared inside their own relationship. Ryan had cheated on Olivia. The same way he helped break my life apart, he created the same pain for her. When I heard that, I expected satisfaction. I expected anger. Instead, I only felt tired. Karma had arrived without me asking for it. I did not need to create pain because life had already shown them the consequences of their choices. At work, I received a message from Olivia again. "Ethan, please answer me." I looked at it, but did not respond. Another message appeared. "I need to explain everything." I locked my phone. A few minutes later, another one arrived. "I know I cannot change what happened." I placed the phone away. Grace noticed. "Was that Olivia?" "Yes." "What did she want?" "The same thing." "Are you going to answer?" "No." "Why?" I looked at her. "Because I already heard enough." Grace nodded. "You don't hate her?" I thought about the question. "No." "Really?" I spent too much time carrying anger. I don't want to carry it anymore. Months passed. I became stronger. I traveled. I worked harder. I started making plans that had nothing to do with the life I lost. One afternoon, I found an old wedding photo on my computer. I stared at it for a moment. The old Ethan in that picture believed everything was perfect. I whispered, "I miss how innocent the first was." Then I closed the file. I did not delete it. I did not need to. The memory was part of my story, but it was no longer my future. Later that night, Olivia sent one final message. "I am sorry." I read those 2 words carefully. For a moment, I felt sadness. Not because I wanted her back, because I remembered how much I once believed in her. I typed a response, but deleted it. Some endings did not need another conversation. They needed acceptance. I placed my phone on the table and looked outside. The person who betrayed me changed my life, but they did not destroy it. I changed too. I learned that revenge was not always making someone suffer. Sometimes revenge was becoming someone they could never hurt again. I stopped waiting for apologies. I stopped hoping for explanations. I stopped wondering why they chose betrayal. I finally understood something important. People who break your heart can take a moment from your life, but they cannot take the entire future you build afterward. My life was mine again, and this time I was the one deciding where it would go. I finally accepted that losing people who lied to me was not the end of my story. It was the beginning of a better chapter where I chose honesty, peace, and self-respect over pain. I walked forward without bitterness because my heart had finally learned how to heal. I never expected to see Olivia again. Almost 2 years had passed since the wedding that never happened. My life had changed completely. I had rebuilt my career, repaired my confidence, and learned how to live without searching for answers from people who chose to hurt me. That afternoon, I walked into a small coffee shop near my office. Then I heard a familiar voice. "Ethan." I stopped. I turned around and saw Olivia standing there. For a moment, I remembered everything. The trip, the pictures, the lies, the wedding. But the pain I once carried was gone. "Hi, Olivia." She looked nervous. "Can we talk?" I studied her face. "I have a meeting soon. Please, just a few minutes." I nodded. "Okay." We sat across from each other. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Finally, she whispered, "I know I don't deserve your time. Why did you want to talk?" She looked down. "Because I never properly apologized." I stayed quiet. "I was selfish, Ethan." The word surprised me. I made one terrible decision, and I destroyed everything. I looked at my coffee. "You destroyed more than a wedding." "I know." "You destroyed trust." "I know." "You destroyed the person who believed you completely." Her eyes filled with tears. "I know." I took a slow breath. For years, I imagined this moment. I imagined anger. I imagined asking endless questions. But sitting there, I only felt tired. I used to want answers. She looked at me. "Do you still?" "No." "Why?" "Because I already know what happened." She wiped her eyes. "I was wrong." "Yes, you were. I wish I could change it." "So do I." She looked surprised. "I thought you hated me." "I did hate what you did." "And me?" I paused. "No." "Why?" "Because carrying hate kept me connected to the worst moment of my life." She stayed silent. "I don't want that anymore." "Ethan, can you ever forgive me?" I looked at her carefully. "Yes." Hope appeared on her face. "But forgiveness does not mean we go back." Her expression changed. "I understand. Some doors close forever." "I know. Trust is not something I can rebuild after everything." "I know I broke it." I nodded. "That is why this is goodbye." She looked away. "I thought maybe someday." I thought that too. Before everything happened. Me too. We sat quietly. Then Olivia asked, "Are you happy now?" I smiled slightly. "Yes." "Without me?" "Yes." The answer hurt her, but I needed to be honest. I built a life that doesn't depend on anyone who could take it away. She nodded slowly. "I'm glad you found that." "I am too." She took a breath. "Ryan and I ended badly." I didn't react. "I know. How?" "People talk." She looked embarrassed. "He hurt me the same way." I looked at her. "I'm sorry you experienced pain." She seemed surprised. "You're sorry?" "Yes." "After everything?" "Pain is still pain." She lowered her head. "But I can't fix your choices." "I know." I stood up. "I hope you find peace." She looked at me. "Will you ever think of me?" I smiled sadly. "I will remember my past." "Is that all?" "That's enough." I walked toward the door, knowing I had finally reached the ending I needed. Outside the shop, I stopped for a moment and looked at the street ahead of me. I realized the man who once waited for Olivia's messages was gone forever. I was no longer searching for someone else's apology. I had finally given myself the closure I needed to move forward. I walked toward my office with a strange feeling in my chest. It was not sadness. It was not anger. It was something I had not felt in years. Peace. I entered my building and smiled at the familiar faces around me. "Ethan, good morning." "Morning. How are you?" "Busy but good." "That's what I like to hear." I reached my office and looked through the glass window at the city below. 2 years earlier, I thought losing Olivia meant losing my future. I was wrong. My future had only started after I let go. My phone rang. It was Grace. "How was your day?" "Interesting." "That sounds suspicious." I saw Olivia. There was a short silence. "You did?" "Yes." "Are you okay?" I smiled. "I am." "Really?" "Really? What did you feel?" I thought about it. "Nothing that controls me anymore." Grace laughed softly. "I knew you would get here. I didn't believe you back then." "I know. I thought I would always feel broken. But you healed." I looked around my office. I built something new. You built yourself again. Her words meant more than she knew. After the call ended, I sat at my desk and opened my project files. My career had grown beyond what I imagined. The same person who once spent nights wondering why someone betrayed him was now creating designs, leading teams, and planning bigger dreams. I no longer measure my worth by who stayed. I measured it by who I became. That evening, I found an old message from Olivia still saved on my phone. "I miss you." I stared at it briefly. Then I deleted it. Not because I was angry, because I no longer needed reminders of a chapter that had already ended. I walked outside after work. The air felt different. Or maybe I was different. I remembered the day I discovered the truth. I remembered the wedding. I remembered the pain. But those memories no longer controlled me. They were lessons. They were proof that I survived something I thought would destroy me. I stopped near my car and smiled. The old Ethan would never believe this. I understood something important. My greatest revenge was never showing Olivia and Ryan that they lost. My greatest revenge was building a life where losing them no longer mattered. Ryan lost my friendship because of his choices. Olivia lost my trust because of hers. Grace stayed beside me because she believed in me when I could not believe in myself. Everyone's choices created their own consequences. I did not need to punish anyone. Life had already delivered the answers. I drove home feeling lighter than I had in years. The man who once waited nervously for vacation pictures was gone. In his place was someone stronger. Someone who understood that love without trust could not survive. Someone who knew that forgiveness was not weakness. Someone who finally chose himself. I looked toward the road ahead and smiled. My story was never about the person who hurt me. It was about the person I became after surviving the hurt. And for the first time in a long time, I was excited about tomorrow. I was free. I was peaceful. I was finally home within myself. I knew that life would still bring challenges, but I was no longer afraid of them. Every scar carried a lesson, and every lesson made me stronger. I had lost a love I thought would last forever, but I had gained something more valuable: respect for myself and the courage to keep walking forward with hope forever.